Hello Commander, welcome to another video. It's nice to have you here again. Commander, today we're gonna make actually a quick tutorial how to use an flight simulator FX, Microsoft Simulator Steam Edition. After finishing my commercial pilot license, I had the need to keep going with my training and to not lose my IFR skills, so I use my flight simulator at home, especially to train my IFR skills like NDB, VORs, RNAV, GPS, and etc. So this tutorial here is going to be for the ones who want to improve the IFR skills, and you are gonna see there is no need to buy an expensive joystick as we already spent all our money in the training and still are jobless. And you are going to see the flight simulator is very useful for us to keep the standards and the instruments flight rules up to date. And if you have the chance to go for an interview, at least you are flying your simulator at home and you are experiencing the IFR procedures and how to set everything, how to use it in general. And then you will not be lost saying like, I don't fly for 6 months, I don't train my IFR skills for almost 1 year, or I don't know how long you don't fly since you finished your training. Also for the ones who are in the middle of the commercial pilot training or doing the IFR training, you also can train and practice here, and then you are gonna have a very nice score when your instructor are close to you there teaching you. You already know the stuff, or at least you have some notion what's happening around. So I highly recommend you to use this simulator or the another one that you have. I'm saying about this one because it's very cheap. I paid I think around $12 in Steam, and it's been very useful for me. I don't buy joystick. Number one reason I don't buy a joystick to use the simulator at home, it's because number one is you never have the same experience flying a simulator comparing to the real life, except for the ones maybe you're gonna find in the airline. The feelings you have using the real control when you are doing the correction from the crosswind, let's say, or even when you are gonna make the flare to land. I have done the simulator training in the flight school and flying the same aircraft in the real life, and it's absolutely different. That's why we used most of the time the autopilot, the same we are gonna use right here to make our flight. So if I have a recommendation for you, just use your keyboard. I don't use here even the mouse. I don't have. I just use the mouse pad from my laptop and the keyboards, and that's what I'm going to show to you right now. So if you enjoy the video, please subscribe the channel, leave your thumbs up. If you have any comment or complaint, leave the comment below, please. Let's go. Thank you. We are going to use the Baron today and the Garmin 1000 to make our flight. It's very nice panel and easy to use. If you wanna have a look in the main instruments of the Garmin 1000, if you want to learn a little bit of the panel, if you are new, just have a look in my video that I just made talking about the main instruments of this panel here, digital panel. To use any instrument like VOR, if you don't have any preset frequency and you don't know where you are, you just want to put any frequency to follow it just because you are learning how it works, you can come here in this panel that it's aside on the right side, shift 3, you open it. Once you open your map, you have this, you can use the inner knob to jump to the other page here, and we can jump there to the nearest intersections. One more, we go to nearest NDBs, and one more, we are going to nearest VOR. We have near us this VOR X-Ray Romeo Oscar, and then if you have a look here, this information, we are Florianopolis, altitude, and we have frequency here. So 11780 is going to be our frequency from this VOR. If you want to check another airport, another VOR, better saying, we have the Juliet, November, Victor, Charlie, Tango, Bravo, and all of them you can skip and choose another one here. You can go to this VOR, and then you have the frequency here. Then you have another VOR, you have the frequency here. Let's take the first one, which is located at the airport we are currently now. This one in Florianopolis is 11780. You can set the frequency here, 117. And also we use outer knob and inner knob, 80. And we change from standby to current frequency set. And we already have our X-ray Romeo Oscar. It's set. And then we can change here if you want to choose the radio you want to departure from, or the radio we are right now. You can use this to fly and to experiment the IFR flight using the VOR only. We also can use the GPS function here. We go in this soft key nearest, and we press the nearest. We have also different airports around us, so we can go down here using the outer knob, choose a different airport. Let's say I want to go to this one, Sierra Bravo November Fox. I can press this button here. It's called Direct to. So yes, Sierra Bravo November Fox, and we can press enter and activate. So now we are going to have our route based on the navigation on the GPS going straight to Sierra Bravo November Fox. Also, this button down here is going to be to change from nav 1, nav 2 in case we use this frequency here from navigation 2. And skipping one more, we are going to have our GPS. It means that if you want to go to this airport I set here, we need to follow this arrow. I will leave this for us. Once we take off, we are going straight to this airport using our Direct to I just set here. So it's going to be very easy for us. And how we take off? We are going to use only this keyboard and the arrows and the mouse pad to go to pull or control back and to push it forward. That's the only way we're gonna use it. The power, we are gonna use F4 to make a full power, or it means to put our throttle fully forward here to take off. And if you wanna reduce the power after we reach the cruise altitude, we are gonna use F2. And if you wanna increase a little bit more again, we use F3. So F2 to reduce and F3 to increase power on your throttle. For takeoff, we are gonna set flap. To set our flaps down for takeoff, we use F7. So we use F7. We put the first stage of the flaps, F7 again, and F7 again. Okay, this one there are only two positions, so we are full flap now. And if you want to retract the flaps after takeoff, we are going to use F6. F6 and one more F6. Now we have the flaps retracted. After takeoff, also we are going to put our gears up, and before landing we are going to put the gears down. So the letter we are going to use in the keyboard is going to be G, like the letter golf we're going to use to put the gear down and gear up. Another tool is going to be very useful for us. It's when we press Shift 2 to open our autopilot. We can choose here which altitude we are going. The rate of climb we can choose. I'm going to take off with 1000 per minute, and I'm going to increase it later. Actually, we're going to 2000, much better. Then we have time to talk. Once you switch on the autopilot master switch here and switch on your ADG, you are going to start making our turns using this button here. It's going to be our ADG, our heading. So we're going to leave the heading here in the same we are right now to go straight forward. And after we take off, if you want to follow the GPS plan that we put here, we just have to turn it left here, or if it's the right side you can turn right. You can make all the turns you want only using this button here. And to switch on the flight plan we set on the GPS, we press nav. So when you put nav here, the 8DG is going to be off because the aircraft goes automatically to follow the flight plan we set. We are going to make it on the air as well and see how it's going to work. We're going to leave 8DG to take off. And another one we're going to use here, we have approach for later on if you want to do an ILS procedure. I'm not going into this today. And the altitude, if you press the hold altitude switch, we are going to follow these things here. We are going to 2000 feet and climb at the rate of 1000 feet per minute. That's exactly how we're going to take off. I'm going to put the flaps, only one flap here, and I'm going to press F4 full power and leave this window open to set my autopilot. I will leave this only the HDG on, and we have a look on the airspeed here. Altitude hold switch is going to hold our altitude. Gear up, we press G. Retract the flaps, F6. And now we can make the curves and turn only using the ADG, and we use the F2, F3 to reduce and increase power, and we use the altitude hold switch here if you want to climb 1000 feet more or 2000, regardless where you want to go. You just increase the altitude here, and the rate of climb I'm going to increase as well to 1500 feet per minute. Shift 1, you can open the primary flight display. You can make it bigger using the Shift 1. I'm going to wait to reach the 2000 feet, and I reduce power and make the turn to follow our GPS route plan. As we reach 2000 feet, we are going to notice that our airspeed here is going to increase, so we need to reduce our engine power. I'm going to reduce until 21 inches. As we reach 2000 feet, I'm going to switch off the ADG and switch on our nav, and the aircraft is going to follow the route automatically. You can see that the ADG doesn't work anymore. I'm putting the ADG to curve right, and the aircraft is following the GPS. Anyway, I'm going to leave the ADG the same as our route, because in case something happen, we have the ADG in the same direction as our GPS route. As we are using the direct tool, we don't need to make this bar centralized. So what I'm going to do is just to put the direct tool again and enter again and activate again. Just to make this centralized all the time, you can put here direct tool, enter again and activate again. The aircraft is going to navigate by itself following this magenta line, as we can check here in our flight plan. You can see the map and also increase or decrease the range we are seeing, closer or further. That's where we are going now. I'm not going to make all the flight here. It's going to take so much time. So what we're going to learn more now is, for example, we are 2000 feet and now we are approaching the airport. We want to descend, so we just use this one as well. For descending we need to decrease our speed or power, otherwise the aircraft is going to overspeed. So I'm gonna leave it 14 inches here. As we can see, the speed is decreasing. Once I start descending, I'm gonna descend to 1000 feet here, 700 per minute, and the speed is going to increase again. Let's leave 900 per minute. The speed is going to increase, so we can just change the power to not go so fast. If the controller say it's clear to land, runway, regardless of the runway you are, you just need to work on this altitude to increase or decrease the altitude or your vertical speed and also your power. And when we are approaching, you can change here to 8DG again to have the control of the aircraft, so it's not following the magenta line anymore. Now I'm controlling it. Can go right, go left. Basically that's what we can use to follow the instruments procedures. And if you have you necessarily have to have the aeronautical charts as well, for arrival, for approach, for departure. You can use everything. Let's say 95%, 99% of the flight you can make like this. And also I use to land only, I land only using this autopilot here. Guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's useful for you, please leave your thumbs up, and you can share the video with someone who needs as well. It's always good when we share knowledge and everybody can gain with that. Thank you so much. See you next time and safe flight.